3 weeks ago, Walibi Holland opened up 2 brand new roller coasters for 2025, Joy Thrill and Joy Chill. I was there on opening day to check them out, and I even came back a week later for a meetup with some exclusive ride time. So yeah, I've had a good amount of rides on both sides. Are these new RMC Raptors exactly what Walibi needed, or are they just another flashy addition? Let's talk about it in this review of Joy Thrill and Joy Chill. Before we get to the coasters, I want to take a moment to talk about the area they are in, aptly called Joy. This spot used to be a backstage area, completely off limit to the visitors, but now it is open to the public for the first time. And on top of that, they have used this new zone to fix the old dead end near Goliath by fixing Joy to the exotic zone. So now, instead of having to double back, there is a full loop through the left side of the park. And I'm really glad they did this. Goliath was already kind of out of the way, and that dead end was always a bit annoying. Opening up this area also gives you some great new views of Express Platform 13 and the first drop of Goliath, which is awesome. It makes the whole zone feel super lively. There's always a train flying by somewhere. They have also added a new place to grab food, called Flavors. The signature dish is a croque monsieur, and it actually was really good. The only downside was that it clearly wasn't ready for the crowd it pulled in that day. But I think that was more of a one-time thing. People were sticking around because the area was a bit tricky to get in and out of due to the crowd management. Flavors has 2 terraces too. One with great views of Express Platform 13 and the other that is a bit more chill, right by the lake and with a great view of Joy. There are 2 downsides to this new zone however. One is the lack of toilets. I know that in my opening day vlog I commented on the toilets and the slogan on them, but these are temporary. And they're still using the slogan, right the other side. Really, Walibi, really. For a toilet. And I don't think this was the reason they removed them. But this does mean that the closest toilets that can be found are in Hacienda in the exotic zone. Unless you're in a wheelchair, because then you would have to double back all the way to either Eat My Dust or Space Shot. This is incredibly inconvenient, but I have heard that preparations for permanent toilets have been made. So if this is true, I hope we will see them next year. The second downside is, as I just mentioned, the fact that the path toward the exotic zone has stairs. While it may not be an issue for me, for people that do have difficulty walking or are in a wheelchair, it means that the Joy area is essentially a dead end. Besides these points, I do feel like this area is a great new addition to Walibi Holland. There isn't much theming, besides the wooden wave at the entrance to the zone, which was made using the wood that used to be part of Robin Hood. There are also a few decorations in the station, but theming is not really what I expect from Walibi. It does need some time for the grass and plants to start growing though, because right now it does look a bit barren. I do expect this to improve over the year, and I am curious to see the transformation of the landscape either later this year or maybe even next year. Anyway, time for the main attraction, quite literally. Let's talk about Joy Thrill and Joy Chill. Joy Thrill and Joy Chill are a pair of Rocky Mountain construction, or RMC, single rail coasters. These are the first of this type in Europe, and unlike their counterparts in the United States and South Korea, Joy has a completely custom layout. I personally also would have loved a more generic clone, as they look incredibly intense and whippy, but what RMC has built here in the Netherlands is also worth experiencing. And with Joy Thrill and Joy Chill opening, Walibi Holland is the first park in the world that has 3 RMC coasters in their lineup, with the Robin Hood conversion Untamed being built in 2019. While pretty much everyone sees Joy as a pair of dueling coasters, Walibi is cleverly marketing them as dual coasters. So you don't compete against each other, but you experience these coasters together. But we'll get to that later. As for the stats, both sides will climb up to a height of 29 meters or 95 feet and have a total length of 655 meters or 2149 feet. There is a slight difference in top speed, with Thrill reaching a top speed of 82 km per hour or 51 miles per hour, and Chill ending up at 80 km per hour, which is 49.7 miles per hour. I will explain where this difference comes from in a moment, because let's go through the layout, side by side. The roller coasters start with a left-hand turn out of the station and start ascending the lift hill. You will likely not leave the station at the same time, so the lift hill will slow down for the train that is ahead to allow the other side to catch up. Once both trains are at the same level, the lift hill will pick up speed and will bring you to the max height of 29 meters. Both sides will make a right-hand turn, which also acts as a pre-drop. You'll pick up a decent amount of speed here already. The Thrill side will dip down a bit further than Chill, and use this height difference to cross underneath the Chill track. This turn is 270 degrees, so the start is a bit reminiscent of Wildfire and Carmarthen. Except where Wildfire goes over the lift hill, Joy will have to drop underneath it. Having completed the turn, it is time for the main drop. For Chill, this is accompanied by a small hill. I don't really want to call it a bunny hill, as you don't really have enough speed for airtime on the hill itself. But if you are further back in the train, you will get some decent floater airtime on the way down. On the other side, Thrill starts with its first inversion. You will twist to the left, facing Chill, into a barrel roll down drop. This element is amazing in the front of the train, as you will get tons of hang time before you plunge down the slightly higher drop than Joy Chill. And I believe this is where the speed difference comes from, as the main drop from Joy Thrill is just from a slightly higher elevation than Chill. After this main drop, Chill will be racing through an airtime hill in preparation of the next element, while Thrill will do the same, except the airtime hill for Thrill is positioned higher than Chill. Both sides deliver a nice pop of ejector airtime here. You will then take a right turn into one of the signature elements of Joy, the high five. Chill will gradually twist to the right to a 90-degree angle, while Thrill jerks from a right-hand turn into a more snappy twist to the left-hand side. This element is a visual spectacle, both on and off-ride, and it feels like you can almost reach each other here. Then Chill takes a bigger dip down into a right-hand turn to prepare itself for the next signature element, where Joy Chill is going to head into an off-axis airtime hill. Joy Thrill is making a similar right-hand turn a bit higher up to move into the Top Gun stall. As with the high five, this combination is spectacular for both the onlookers and the riders. At this point, Chill and Thrill are going their own way. On the Chill side, you will take a slight right-hand turn before being thrown into a bank turn to the left, which will bring you into an airtime hill. Meanwhile, Thrill will race up into a right-hand cutback. You will still have some interaction here, as Chill will pass underneath Thrill during the cutback element. After the airtime hill, the Chill side will drop to the ground, while Thrill is heading into its fourth inversion, a corkscrew. This corkscrew climbs over the Chill track, so you will have another nice interaction here. Chill then goes into another bank turn to the right, with an airtime hill hidden within the turn. As the train of the Chill side is taking this turn, the Thrill side will dip underneath the Chill side. Here, Chill and Thrill will have an individual element. Chill will be doing some high-speed S-bend turns, and these are quite whippy. The Chill side will then move itself up into a smaller airtime hill to prepare for the last interaction. Meanwhile, Thrill will make a left-hand turn, which will transition into a barrel roll. This barrel roll passes underneath the first airtime hill of Chill, so there is no interaction, and it does feel like a bit of a forced filler element. You do get loads of hang time in this barrel roll, so it's not like it doesn't do anything at all. You then take a right-hand turn and get ready to rejoin Chill. From a small bunny hill, Thrill moves into its final inversion, a corkscrew that wraps around Chill. Chill, in the meantime, will dip down and make way for Thrill, and then back up into an airtime hill. This element has been coined as the DNA roll, because of the way the track twists around each other. Both sides will then take a left-hand turn and slam into the brake run with plenty of speed to spare. Just like you can slam that subscribe and like button if you are enjoying the video so far. God, that was a horrible segue. Now that we have gone through the layout, what are my thoughts about these rides? Starting with Thrill, which is my favorite of the two. While it doesn't have as many airtime pops as Chill, Thrill absolutely delivers on the airtime it does have. And it complements it with a plethora of hang time. Every inversion, except for the cutback, has you hanging out of your seat. And as I mentioned during the layout already, the hang time is most pronounced in the front seat, especially during the barrel roll down drop. If you ride Joy in the morning, before it warms up, this is an absolutely crazy element to begin the ride with. And while I prefer the Thrill side, it doesn't mean Chill is bad, far from it. The moments of airtime are solid, and it keeps its pace incredibly well. So while I mentioned Chill was indeed pretty chill as my first reaction in my opening this video right here, this was quickly remedied in later rides. Chill still packs a punch. My first reaction came from a ride earlier in the day with a train that only had 3 seats filled. Joy Chill really benefits from having a full train and being warmed up. Going back to Joy Thrill, I do feel like it's a good addition to the lineup of Walibi Holland. While Walibi is already quite inversion heavy, the track style and the manner of inversions does make it stand out enough from the other rides. It will not beat Untamed in ride experience, but I don't think that was expected. But a solid case can be made for it being a good 1-2 punch with Untamed. Now for Joy Chill. This rollercoaster will fill a big gap in the lineup of Walibi Holland. Because besides the 2 kiddie coasters with Draco and the newer Eat My Dust, there was no intermediate coaster that didn't invert. The next step would immediately be Goliath, which may be intimidating with its 47 meter height. So now you have Joy Chill, which isn't as high as most coasters in the park, but still pretty sizable. And you are riding on a single rail, which is a pretty unique experience in Europe, as these are the only single rails on the continent next to Mahuka at Walibi Rhone Alps. So yes, it fills a gap, but it may still be a bit intimidating for people that are looking for that in-between experience. However, I would say it was the much needed coaster Walibi Holland needed in their lineup. I think they could still add something a bit smaller in stature in the future. But with the experience that Joy Chill gives, it is a slam dunk. The airtime isn't so strong that it will deter people from riding, and it will give people who find either inversions or Goliath a bit too much a solid rollercoaster experience. It isn't all joy and happiness, however, because both sides have a rough edge to them. I am not sure whether this is an issue with RMC Raptors, but you can feel the bumps at the points where the pieces of the track connect. This may still be resolvable down the line, but I went in with the expectation of the coasters being glass smooth like Untamed is. That is not the case, but it isn't bad enough to detract from the experience. The bigger point of concern I have, however, is on the Thrill side. Between the high five element and the top gun stall, a pretty jarring jolt can be felt. This is more pronounced in the back of the train. In the front it was barely noticeable. I do hope that they can resolve these issues. Another potential downside is capacity. Each side can take about 400 riders per hour, and Thrill is absolutely the more crowded side. Walibi often isn't too crowded, so it may not be a big issue, and the ride operations have been great in my visits as well. They load up each side while the train is crawling through the station, and it seemed quite efficient. So kudos to Walibi on making this work as smooth as it has during my visits. Still, I do dread the lines for Joy during Fright nights, which may be the biggest scare of the park at the time. And if you are visiting on a more busy summer day, I hope you brought sunscreen, because there's no shade to be found in the queue of Joy Thrill. At least the queue of Chill passes underneath the station, so you have some reprieve there. Looking at both coasters, Walibi really delivers on the promise of Joy being a dual coaster. On their own, they would be fun and solid rides, but it is the interaction between both tracks that elevates the coaster to a great experience. Especially the Chill side is strong in this aspect, as you aren't being inverted 6 times. You can constantly see Thrill move over and around you, and this is such a cool experience. This is the best dueling interaction I have ever experienced, and I don't think another ride will come close to it. Because of this constant interaction, Joy is just a joy to ride. For the best experience, I would suggest sitting further down the train. It gives you the best views of the interaction. But even if you are in front, Joy will deliver a fun experience. They are not the most intense roller coasters, and they do not try to forcefully eject you like Untamed does, but they are just pure fun. And at the end of the day, that is what riding roller coasters is all about. So what would I rate these two coasters? Starting with Joy Thrill, I would rate this coaster with a 9. Joy Thrill is a solid addition to Walibi Holland, even though it's already stacked with high thrill coasters. And for Joy Chill, I would rate it with an 8. It fills the biggest gap in the coaster lineup of Walibi Holland, and it is still a fun ride while not being too thrilling for guests. Again, this is solely based on the fun factor the interaction brings. When the interaction doesn't happen, or if you would rate them just based on the coaster itself, they would lose half a point or maybe even a full point. If RMC decides to clone this layout, it would have to include both coasters. Joy Chill or Joy Thrill really can't do without its counterpart. Have you ridden Joy yet? Let me know in the comments what you thought of them. Or if you are planning to visit Walibi Holland for Joy, let me know what you are most looking forward to. And if you want to get an impression of Walibi Holland's opening day, be sure to check out my vlog right here. It definitely had a few things happen that were unexpected, to say the least.